The American market was a prime target. They had taken Rolls-Royces and MG sports cars to their hearts and garages. And now the showrooms were featuring a new car with deceptive looks.
The Moris Minor brings big car motoring at small car cost. Comfortable seating for 4 and 7 cubic feet of luggage space. All passengers sit within the wheelbase. That's why the Moris Minor gives greater comfort, increased stability and easier driving control. A husky British Bulldog engine with an easy shift 4-speed transmission. Supreme road holding and a sway-free ride.
The top speed was less to shout about.
We went out on the freeways with all their chaps, 4 of us, in this poor little Minor. And he flogged out about 60 miles an hour. That's all it would do, 60 miles an hour. Of course, the other people were going 80 or 90 miles an hour on the Buicks and that sort of thing, And they all thought it was a jolly good little car, bar it wasn't fast enough. It was underpowered, which it was.
The Americans didn't get a bigger engine, but in order to comply with the Californian law, the headlamps were raised to a new position above the front wings. Alec Isigonis was furious about this, the only significant change ever made to the Minor's shape. The export drive was relentless. No terrain was too rugged, no market too difficult to crack. The message went out all over the world.
La petite voiture la plus avantageuse du monde. La compra en coches pequeños más ventajosa del mundo. Der grootste waarde ter wereld in kleine auto's.
In 1950, the 100,000th Moris was exported. Lord Nuffield reluctantly praised the car.
Congratulations on the completion of the 100,000th car.
Nice to be
and I can only hope that in the future you'll continue to do as good a job of work.
Thank you, sir.
In the early 50s, government controls were relaxed and the home market took off. The model range expanded. There was a 4-door version and eventually an estate car, the Moris Minor Traveller, available for £599.
The Moris Minor Traveller. It goes everywhere and does everything. You'll wonder how you ever managed without it.
In November 1951, Moris merged with its arch-rival Austin, forming the British Motor Corporation. For the Minor, this meant a new overhead valve engine and new opportunities to promote the car.
On the Goodwood motor race circuit, a new kind of endurance test has been tried out on a Moris Minor. A specially designed mobile garage was in attendance for servicing, and the car, which was on a 10,000-mile trip to nowhere, doing about 1,000 miles a day, never stopped running under its own power.
The Moris Minor never drove past burning fields. It never had an operatic soundtrack and couldn't transform itself into a mobile computer. It was always promoted for its reliability, a long-life car whose every part had been tested, tested, and tested again. Although an improvement, the new Austin engine still couldn't take the Minor above 62 miles per hour. Finally, in September 1956, the Minor got what it had always wanted, a 948cc engine.
Big car features, big car driving ease, big car roominess, and now big car performance. A magnificent piece of power engineering, designed to give you thousands of miles of trouble-free motoring. A surge of power on hills, breathtaking acceleration to whip you far away from traffic. It's the world-proved way to enjoy his sort of motoring in her sort of car. How nice to think that the car he wanted was just the car she wanted him to want.
London is a place well worth getting to know, and the best way of getting to know it is by car. The right car. The car that's just as much at home on the open road or in a crowded city street. the economical but lively Moris 1000.
With its not quite 1000cc engine, the Miner was reborn as a rally car. Pat Moss was a champion show jumper before she took to motor racing in a green Morris Miner nicknamed Granny.
55. I can't look out.
I started on these little night rallies and some driving tests. I even did a hill climb. Anything that was competitive. It seemed perfectly natural to jump the horses at a show on a Saturday and then do a rally Saturday night.
Are you more nervous to say when you go into show jumping?
Oh, I think so, slightly.
We must compare the two. Which do you like best now?
Both. I couldn't say which. I wouldn't like to do one without the other. Liège-Rome-Liège was, in the 50s, 60s and before, the most coveted rally, really. That was one of the first international rallies I did in the Morris Minor, and it was the first time that a car under 1000cc had ever finished. It was very good, very reliable. Us Morris drivers hated the Austins, and the rivalry was terrific because, of course, the Austin was lighter, therefore faster. But we Morris drivers said the Morris Minor held the road better. I hit a concrete post once in the Minor, in Monty, and it was very icy, and I just overtaken an A30, and I was very pleased with that. Came down a slight slope into a village, and it sort of drifted, and I thought, oh, hell, I'm going to hit the snowbank, which it did. No big drama, but there was a concrete post in it. My head was cut and so on, we lost time, but the car, we drove home after. It was no problem. They were very, very strong, but I didn't hit many things with them.
Well, there she is, a car they've made a million of.
My pal John says that their Minor is jolly comfortable, and there's masses of room for them and their luggage.
Bill Anderson tells me the Miner's the best car he ever had. Marvellous on corners, bags of power, miles and miles per gallon, too.
Gosh, everyone's got a Minor. Not everyone, silly. They've only made just over 1 million.
Let's have the million from first, eh?
Wow!
In December 1960, it became the first British car to sell over 1 million. And to celebrate, a limited edition of 349 Morris Millions was produced in vivid lilac. But by now, the British Motor Corporation had new and even more innovative models designed by Alec Zagonis. His front-wheel drive Mini and the 1100 model reinvented the small car. The Morris Minor was gradually becoming part of BMC's history.
The Morris Traveller car we produced at Cowley at a loss, and had we put that car together for nothing, in other words, assembled it for nothing, then we would still not have made any profit on it. We only just covered our overheads on that and made nothing out of it at all. I do remember on many occasions going to our salespeople and saying, for goodness sake, put the price up so that we can at any rate make a few pounds on it, but for some reason they never would.
As the 60s wore on, the Minor looked increasingly old-fashioned. Motorways had replaced country roads. Durability was no match for flash. The Minor was a fuddy-duddy's car.
Who dares come hooting at me? I only give way to a jag. You're balmy or plastered. I'll pass you, you bastard. I'll overtake you, I will. As he clenches his pipe, his moment is ripe, and the corner's accepting its kill.